Well, everybody, we have 3 more matches today. We're not going anywhere really quickly, so let's go ahead and let Crappy wander on over and show us where we are going for game number 2. Wait, that's not Crappy. What is this all about? Vonnie, I'll go. Oh, okay, never mind. Vonnie left. Well, you know what? I'm sad that Crappy got replaced by Dracula, but you know what? He'll be back. He'll be fine. Let's go ahead and welcome on in the GM for game number 2. Time Stalker. Time Stalker has given out 1 game before in Kusog7ande, and so it'll be exciting to see what we've got today. Hello there, Time Stalker.
Hello, how's it going, Brossentia?
Oh, it's going great. I had so much fun with Dracula, with Drax Night Out. You know, he had a lot of fun.
Yeah, I've seen that game before. It's very interesting.
Yeah, I absolutely love it. It's just a blast for me. But honestly, you know, I am not too familiar with the game that you're giving out today. It looks very different. I don't know what this is.
Okay, so this is a game that I've actually enjoyed a lot, and this is more on the bizarre side of Kusog7ande. There are some flaws to this game, but it's one I really enjoy. And this is Psycho Dream on the SNES.
Psycho Dream for Super Nintendo. I know, yeah, again, like nothing about this game. I've never played it. I think I've heard of it, but I've never had the opportunity to get into it. So, what genre of game is this?
It's a platformer.
Okay, it's a platformer. Does it deserve the name Psycho Dream?
It is a fever dream. Like, this game, the visuals are all very bizarre. And
okay, I love a good fever dream. Good. Honestly, you know, I think that one of the strangest games that I've played visual-wise is LSD Dream Simulator for the PS1. Although I would actually say that one, you know, it does exactly what it's trying to accomplish, you know? And
yeah.
I love it in what it does. It is absolutely fascinating to me. And for anybody who hasn't tried it, it's worth a try. You know, maybe you can always go ahead and consider using a different search engine or something if you don't want to be associated with looking up the game. But seriously, for PS1, it's fascinating. And I love games that make me question reality. So Psycho Dream, I'm really hoping that's what happens with this.
Yeah, as Silky Soft Psycho says, this game is about 2 agents of a dream agency that go into the dreams of a girl in a coma and fight the monsters inside.
Ooh, so it's like Weird Dreams. Sort of.
Well, definitely not on that level. This one is, to me, I enjoy this one a lot.
Okay, gotcha.
I really do. I think it's a fun game, but it does have its issues.
Yeah. The title screen I keep saying title screen. The title screen makes me feel a little bit uncomfortable with how jiggly the water feels. Like it's more like gelatin than water. At least that's how I feel. Let me go ahead and see how the players are, if they are ready. I'm ready. Are you all set? Well, what would be good emotes for chat to prep for the countdown?
Bugs, monsters.
Bugs, monsters, okay.
Anything from Weird Dreams, I would suppose, just because.
Okay, bugs, monsters, the weirdest emotes that you have, okay? Feel free to go ahead and do that. That is not a good box art. No, it's fine. Because
it was one of 2 I found, and I felt like this one was the one that I found the most, so, for the box art.
Okay, cool. Well, they just don't like the jiggliness. I'm doing the countdown now. Spam your emotes, please. Weird Dreams is a good one. Ooh, the one going into the eye, into the The pupil, that's a pretty good one. As soon as I see movement in stage number 1, I will start our timer. Are they sticking with the same character for this?
I told them they could choose either character. You either have the generic anime swordsman wannabe, which it seems like everybody went with, or
Nope.
Omega went with the dominatrix butterfly lady.
Yeah. Oh, I've either played or seen this. Okay, this is very familiar already. Okay, I haven't played a whole lot of this, but yes, I am a little bit familiar with it.
Now, the players are gonna want to kill enemies in this game because enemies will drop crystals that will upgrade your attacks, just like with what happened with Lauratia there. And there are two levels of attacks on there. There's the yellow crystals and the blue crystals. And one is a ranged attack and one upgrades your main weapon, but you can't have both at the same time. And if you pick up one of the opposite, it changes it to that, but it doesn't upgrade it.
Okay.
So you're at the same level you were with whatever you were on, but it changes it to the other, and so you don't make really any progress towards what you want to be at, which is your ultimate form.
Yeah.
And see, now Lauratia has a spinning attack.
So do I. I just put my arms out and I spin around. Just have to say, I am as good as this swords person at spinning. Usually people say it's closer to flailing, but whatever. Don't judge me, everybody. I got a yellow belt in Kung Fu. That is the first one after white. That means that I actually had to get tested, and they're like, wow, you didn't accidentally knock yourself out. You did great.
Yeah, the guy on there, when he upgrades, you can tell he gets kind of a metal suit.
Yeah, and honestly, like, you want to get this upgrade so that you can actually hit stuff. I don't know why, but like the base sword just is so difficult to hit anything.
Yeah. Now, in this game, X on its own doesn't do anything. But if you hit L and X, you accidentally you have basically what is a kill yourself button.
Well, that's not great.
And you're gonna want L or R on because those are your run buttons.
Gotcha.
So you could accidentally kill yourself if you hit X accidentally.
I gotta ask, how much information did you give the players?
Nothing. I gave him absolutely nothing about
I'm
this
actually
game.
looking. You did not give a manual. You did not give notes. Mind you, it looks like this was a Japanese-only game, so it didn't come out here in the U.S. So there wouldn't really be a manual to give them. But yeah, you just basically were like, map controls to a Super Nintendo, figure it out, good luck. And honestly, for sort of an action-based game like this, the basic controls would be understandable, but it would be very easy to get narrow-minded and not pay attention to when you might be able to do other things. That is the biggest risk, not learning after you do transformations what the various attacks and moves you can do at that point are.
Now, Omega did something that I was wondering if anybody was going to do. When the elevator came down to the end, there's a hole in the wall. Omega didn't notice it and jumped off the right thinking he had to go down and died.
Well, I mean, welcome to the video game. This is Kusog7ande for a reason. Like, round one games tend to be games that are a little bit on the weirder side that can have bad elements, but, you know, they're usually not going to be the worst games that exist. This music, it's a little interesting. I kind of dig it for what it is. The gameplay itself, I think when I played a little bit of this, my biggest complaint was that it felt like I was so slow the entire time.
Well,
but, you know, you do eventually get upgrades.
If you don't find the run button, yeah, you're going to be slow.
Where's the run button?
It's L or R. Now, Lauratia's found the first boss, and he's about to find out one of the problems with this boss. The boss is coming on screen like this, but if you're standing where the boss will eventually get to, even though the boss isn't there yet, it will hurt you.
We're going to go ahead and issue a flashing warning. I don't think there is too much flashing. There has been a little bit, but If, all of the screens sync up with something happening at the same time, that could be a little bit more of an issue. But yeah, it seems like it's subdued enough that it's probably not going to be an issue. But still, warning just in case. There is some lower,
So the other thing with the tentacle monster here is that your best attack is the ranged weapon, which is normally not the best attack you have otherwise. Now, when it pulls back like that, it will fire shots that, if you destroy them, can drop power-up shards. But it looks like Naya's trying to damage race it and it's gonna get there.
Yeah, the sprite flicker, like the whole level having flickering, I think is a little bit it's not great. Like, personally, I don't mind, but at the same time, like, if you're watching on a full like CRT or a full monitor and everything has this bit of a flicker, it can be rough on the eyes. And yeah, it's better, feel free to avert your eyes if it is something that is if you have sensitivity to flashing lights, I would say. Yeah. Now,
I would say that of the two, Maria has the best powered up form, because not only does she have range shots with her attacks, but they're homing ranged shots.
Yeah.
So they do a lot of damage, and they home in on the enemy, which is really good. But this game does have very generous checkpointing. If you notice, it's unlimited continues, and it continues you right on the area that you're in. So if you're on the boss, you continue there. The downside to that is that if you die on said boss, you start out at zero upgrades. So it can be hard to fight bosses if you're not powered up.
Yeah. So I do have to ask, just so that people are aware. Because while we have had lightning and dimming happening up until this point, does it get more severe when it comes to flashing?
I don't think so. The biggest flashing thing is if they do that powered up attack that a couple of players have figured out how to do.
Gotcha. So that's about the extent that you're going to have, everybody. If you're fine with that, but anything more extreme can be bad, it's probably not going to be more extreme than what you have already seen.
Now, the red crystals are also good because they're health. So if you get red crystals, they'll give you HP back, which is nice.
Okay. Cool.
But yeah, this was part of what worried me with this first boss. People died to it and then had to do the fight without upgrades, because I don't know if any of them realized that those shots drop health. Or not health, but upgrades if you destroy them. And each boss has that, where it has some sort of projectile where you can get some semblance of an upgrade. I don't think you can get fully powered up in any boss fight. But
yeah, Chad has pointed out, by the way, that there's some weird audio crunching going on. Is that normally what the boss sounds like?
Yes.
Okay, so that is
normal.
That is normal, everybody. It's crunchy. Like, that definitely usually is a sound issue that I see when there is an emulator issue. But if that is normal for the game, then, ooh boy, that's not the happiest sounding thing. And we're getting confirmation from other people who have played this on console. This is what the game sounds like. You are not getting a unique experience. It's a crunchy game.
Yes. Now, it doesn't look like
Naya
we have
to point out, is this a problem with the emulator? Is it the game? And no, it's the game.
Yeah, Naya still has not found the run button. So, they are plodding their way through stage 2.
Yeah,
and it looks like Omega is through the boss too, so Omega's on to stage 2.
This is going to be a lesson for everybody. When you are playing a game, especially if it's like Super Nintendo and such, you have a lot of buttons. If it seems like a button either does nothing or it's very limited, there might be a secret function that you are not thinking of. And when you are dealing with the platformer that feels like it's going too slow, there's almost always a way to speed it up. It doesn't, like, if it is an official game, you might be able to find, you gotta search for something that's faster. So
Okay.
it is weird to have it holding L in order to run, but there you go.
And Naya's now into the subway, and it looks like Lauratia restarted to try a different character because they were really not doing well with that boss.
That's fair.
Yeah, I think that's actually an underutilized tactic from what I've seen in Kusog7ande. Is sometimes if a character's not working for you and you have an option, reset and try a different one.
Yeah, especially if it's still towards the beginning, although I feel like, does this game have limited continues?
It does not. You have unlimited continues.
Oh, okay. So, because of that, it actually could be a bit of a downside. In general, chat, I would say that if you are getting into a game, especially if there are multiple characters in it, it's probably worth trying to figure out, you know, how does the continue system work early on? Is this going to be something that if I restart, it's going to be a huge setback compared to other players? Nobody else, unless they choose to reset, will be going back to the beginning. But yeah, if a character's not working for you, it may be worth going and switching over.
Okay, now Naya's fully powered up as Rio. They're not attacking her, but it's a combination of both the best gun and best sword.
Yeah, I love, like, the upgrades actually feel really good in this game.
Yeah, but he took too much damage and now is back to base level.
I love that chat points out the run button is not valid for Castlevania. At least pre-PlayStation Castlevania. The Super Castlevania 4, yeah, you don't have a run button. It's Castlevania, what you gonna do? The people who made this, by the way, appear to have made Valis as well. Which Valis? Specifically, was it the same company? Riot was a development team at Telenet Japan, which was apparently before the Reno team. And then later on in 1993, they went back and joined back with Telenet. So yeah, they a lot of the people who worked on this probably worked on Valis.
This boss.
Okay, it is a boss. I'm gonna go ahead and say this is the obelisk of reality.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with this bat at all.
I do not like, whatever, it's Psycho Dream. That's what we've got here. We've got Psycho Dream, and guess what? My dreams have had things that are a little bit more intense than this. Guess what? My dream last night, I was like, I went to class, but for some reason, the seat that I got was also a toilet. And I'm like, well, that's not great. This is really weird. I do not like sitting on a toilet for class. And then somehow I got on top of... I was trying to get out of a door in the library, but I was so fat that I broke the ladder. And I don't know, somehow I ended up on the rooftop of the library, really worried about falling off. Like, I just want to get down and not be fat and breaking ladders. This ladder sucks.
Yeah, Omega's got Maria's upgrade, fully upgraded.
She's so pretty. Oh, I like that.
Now, Naya's on the stage 3, and this is an elevator. And you think it would be kind of like survival or something like that? It's not. You have to destroy all the pods along the bottom. The first time I got here, I thought I just had to destroy the enemies and survive till I got to the top. But no, you actually have to destroy all those pods along the bottom to progress.
Ooh. Yeah, that's a little bit annoying, but whatever.
And those things take a lot of hits.
If you're walled, the best thing to do is to just, like... It's a beat-em-up. It's a side-scrolling beat-em-up. Just kill stuff until the game lets you go.
Yeah.
By the way, the person who did the music for this, this is very odd music, but they also did most of the music for the Wild Arms games. They did a lot of arrangements for the various Smash Bros. Games, including Smash Bros. Ultimate. Honestly, you know, this is Michiko Naruke who did the music here. And I would say that while this isn't something that I would jam out to, this is very environmental and appropriate for the game. Wait, people are saying this was Philip Glass? Nah, not what I'm seeing.
Yeah. The fun thing is, if you get to most any boss fully powered up, as long as you don't get hit too much, you're probably going to take the boss out quickly. The problem is getting there fully powered up, as people are showing.
Actually, I don't know who Philip Glass is. I think that was a joke in chat. You know, maybe you could have said, nah, this was the Beatles that made this song. That would have been a funny joke. That would have been good. Because then I would have been able to tell you were joking. Wow. People are saying that this game looks good, by the way. So what is the problem with the gameplay in this game? It does look good, I would say.
There are specific problems with the game, and it's usually about signposting where you need to go, things of that nature, losing your upgrades in the middle of boss fights, or things like that, because it is based on damage. And so you can go back to being like level 1 attack in the middle of a boss fight, and it becomes really difficult. I think this is probably one of the games that is, to me, it's fun, it controls well, but it has its issues. But it is more bizarre than bad.
Oh yeah, I would probably agree with you. This is a very strange game. Honestly, it gives me a little bit like Shin Megami Tensei vibes, just in how weird it is, although that, I think, makes me feel more unsettled than this game does. The music, very strange. The enemies, very strange. But, you know, the whole story of the game, that you're going into someone's coma and fighting all of these demons in here, it fits the theme. And honestly, I would say that, you know, having something that isn't just going to be the stereotypical game always excites me. And honestly, like, the gameplay, it seems like there's a lot that you can do in order to improve. There's variety in the boss battles, ways to adapt to what they're doing. You've got different mechanics to learn as you're playing. Like, the game overall appears to be a very interesting, fascinating game that, you know, overall, I think the biggest flaw is that it, especially early on, it's very difficult to get feeling like you're controlling this right. But it's fascinating. It's just a very uncomfortable game at the same time. You know? Yeah,
and Omega ran into the problem that I was talking about. He was fully powered up coming into this bat boss fight, and got hit once, and because it was the last hit before his upgrades stopped, he went down to his base level attack in the middle of the boss fight.
Yep, and that wasn't great. Omega Number did get the boss down to 1 HP, but unfortunately died right before dealing the final blow. That is always rough to see, but welcome to video games, everybody. By the way, I think Naya is doing the best so far, despite not learning how to run.
Yeah,
I love it.
And Lauratia's finally into stage 2. Now, this boss, you have to jump up, and you have to go destroy the area up top, and I don't know if they've realized that.
By the way, Offer Blues, thank you for the raid. Come on in, everybody. We are playing right now for Kusog7ande, the Bad Video Game Tournament. This is a game that was only out in Japan. I would say that this falls much more in the weird realm of Kuso rather than completely objectively bad. There are some bad elements, but this is a strange game, especially the boss the bat boss. I think Laurasia may get to that bat. I can't say things.
Yes,
My
you and I
words,
both
they're
be
gone.
struggling with that. Now Naya had to learn how to run to get up tier for this fight. So they finally figured out how to run, because you have to be able to run to jump higher.
Oh yeah. So this is going to be a major wall until Naya figures out some of the mechanics. Okay.
Now the other thing is that boss is off screen, and you cannot actually damage the boss while it's off screen. They have to get the boss on screen to damage it.
By the way, the producer for this game was also the main programmer for Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Blue and Red Rescue Team. That game is fantastic. Amazing music, highly recommended. I just love, like, the people who worked on this. You know, it's very clear that they had a very strong team in this, and I think that it shows, despite how absolutely bizarre everything is. Like, this is a great round 1 pick, in my opinion.
Yeah, that was my thought too. I would never give this out beyond round 1, but for a bizarre game, I think this is perfect for it.
Yeah, a lot of times in Kusog7ande, for the first round, for the first time players have played games, we give something that tends to be a little bit on the kinder side. That's not always the case. And, like, there's some people who are very much well known for not being like that. But yeah, we're definitely getting that with this game, I feel. Ooh,
I think it falls up
Naya, one more hit. No. Did you do it? The boss. Oh my gosh, that was so close.
They got it.
Yeah.
I think this is also in line with the first game I gave out, in that it's fun, but it's flawed.
I see Gilder Sneeze, saying that he's played the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon games, or no, he's played Mystery Dungeon games, but not the Pokemon ones, and is bringing up Sheeran the Wanderer, and I don't know anything about that. But I do, it looks like it may be very similar to the Mystery Dungeon games, probably pretty close, yes. It is.
Okay. So now Naya's in the park with all the cherry blossoms, and I actually really like the aesthetic of this stage. This stage is really kind of fun. The boss, however, though, if you don't have any upgrades at all when you're fighting this boss, it is going to wall people, guaranteed.
By the way, the designer for this game was a character animator for Final Fantasy Tactics, did the main character art for Live a Live, did the lead character design for Super Mario RPG. Okay, so it's very possible that this is Proto-Geno, okay? This came out before Mario RPG. Same person who did a lot of the design here designed that. That's so cool. And honestly, the sprite work here shows this is weird, but beautiful in the weirdness.
Yeah.
It's pronounced live a live, not live a live. Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Freaking crap. You memers, people are memeing in my video game chat. I can't believe it.
Oh, I can't believe it. How would that possibly happen in a video game?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. But yeah, so far, I'm actually wandering. My English is just not doing the thing today, Laurasia going up against the totally normal bat. The obelisk of reality. The phallic felon, I don't know. We've got a lot of things we could call this bat. Yeah. Extendo Patronus. I don't know
what you're talking about. This is just a
the obelisk of knowledge. Never mind. Knowledge, not reality. This is not reality. Yeah. Fine. Obelisk of knowledge. I kept forgetting what it was called, but it's that. Okay, the bat is dead, and unfortunately, That's so sad. Wag the dog is on to stage 2. Wag is currently in last place, but depending on how he does, like, Omega Number has been stuck on this level for a little while, and it seems to get a little bit more difficult as time goes on. So there's plenty of time for Wag the dog to catch up.
Yeah, and Lauratia also got into in the first part of stage 3, so after changing to characters, they are making a decent amount of progress. Alright, I believe...
This music is weird.
Yeah, Naya's on the stage 4 boss, and this is the Grasshopper. And this boss is a pain.
The moth? Like the...
Yeah.
No, that's not a moth. I don't know what this boss is. It's like a chubby...
Like a grasshopper and other combined.
I might say a cicada. Let me see if I can find a good picture of a cicada. Cicada...
Ubi
This is
agrees with
definitely
you.
a cicada, yeah.
The problem is it's very big, it moves very fast, and it has a couple of different attacks that it does, so it's really hard to avoid.
Yeah, for those of you who have not seen a cicada before, let me go ahead and slip a picture here. The worst thing about cicadas is that they're loud and annoying, but they're kind of cute at the same time. When they molt, by the way, it's really creepy because essentially you just see this, except it's an unmoving dead piece of animal and a little bit brown, you know, a little bit darker and creepy looking. Yeah, but that's a cicada for sure.
Yeah, my main problem with trying to learn this boss is that it just moves so quickly when you need to attack it, especially if you don't have any upgrades. It's really hard to hit without getting hit yourself.
True.
And the problem is that the hitbox is not a full body, so hitting it from behind is not as easy as hitting it from the front.
I love that chat is like, oh, hey, isn't the worst thing about cicadas the crop damage? You're probably right about that. I'm saying the worst thing about cicadas is the noise, because I lived in Brazil during a year that the cicadas came out. And let me just say, you would walk past the loud trees, and the trees were just freaking loud. And it's like, wow, I almost can't hear people talking because of just how loud this tree is.
Yeah, and Naya got trapped in the corner, and that was it.
Escorian, you can hear cicadas in your house? Okay, so you know what it's like. They're so flippin' loud. Here in Utah, luckily, we don't have cicadas. By luckily, I mean, there's some charm to them, but also they're very loud and ugly. Yeah. The Japanese anime that I would say is possibly weirder than this. Higurashi no Nakakoro ni When the Cicadas Cry. That one, if you really want to feel horrible for about a month, you should watch that because it will, I don't know, like, that just messed me up emotionally. It is a very disturbing thing, more disturbing than Wag the dog fighting this boss right now. I don't know. You gotta become the master of the domain here. How many jokes can we throw out there? Okay, Wag the dog, unfortunately, not master of his own domain, but that's fine. Meanwhile, Lauratia just dealing with weird elevator where you have to pop the pimples. The pimple pumping elevator. That's definitely what this is, you know? Neolita is struggling with this boss, but they have learned how to run.
Yes.
That
And
is
the thing
huge.
is that Omega has not, so they're having to do this a lot harder than they should.
it makes it difficult. I'd say that
Now, the other thing is that
Oh,
Horatio
go
is
ahead.
fully powered up in this fight, so this could go quickly. Oh, and then took damage.
The thing is, there are a lot of mental games that players have to play when they are doing a tournament like this, where they're trying to beat other people. Because simply put, you know, once you realize that you missed a core mechanic for 20 to 30 minutes, you may think, I am so far behind. But Naya is in the lead. Naya is doing very, very well despite not learning how to run for that amount of time. And honestly, one of our players still hasn't learned it. If you missed something for a long time, odds are somebody else has as well. Especially when it's freaking hold L to run. Who puts that in a game?
L or R.
Okay.
Either one works.
Either one. I guess R is dash in Mega Man X. Or was it A? We always remapped it to R, though, so that we could actually...
It was remapped to R.
Yeah, we remapped it to R.
Okay,
oh, look
now,
at this! It's a side-scrolling... Oh, baby.
Now, the enemies will drop power-ups, but by the time the power-ups spawn, they're usually behind you, so it really doesn't matter.
Well, just kill them on the right side, you know? Kill them when they're low, on the right side of the screen.
And hope you can get back far enough to get them.
Okay, that's not gonna happen. Yeah, this is not fair. I love that Naya's trying to do it and absolutely failing. This is great. This is everybody. If you design a video game that has an auto scroller, you have to make it just like this, okay? And if you don't, then you are missing a perfect opportunity to make everybody angry.
Yeah, I was wondering if anybody was going to get to this, and I'm glad that at least one person did, because this is kind of bizarre.
We're only half an hour into this. Well, kind of bizarre. You're dealing with, like, floating... I don't even know what these are, like face shrimp?
I've never run into an auto-scroller where the power-ups would just fall behind you.
Lauratia's fighting a moth, and there's a lady in an egg?
Lauratia has actually moved into second place. Lauratia's beaten the boss.
The boss has been beaten, and now you get Flying Girl.
That is the girl that you're trying to rescue, actually.
Okay, so we've rescued her. We're good. That's
only kind of. That's only part of her. The rest of her is further on.
Okay, let's see how this music is. Like, I'm waiting for a single jam. Like, all of the music, super environmental, very appropriate for this game, but I want a jam.
I don't think there is a jam in this game.
Dang it. Ugh.
This game is all very haunting music.
Michiko, give me a jam. You did some of the music for Half Minute Hero The Second Coming. You did music for Smash Bros. You could have, like, just put, like, Mario's theme in this. That would have been fine.
The rest of your... I love what Trash No Answer said. The rest of your princess is in another castle.
That would have been very different. Very, very different story, yeah. But, you know.
Yeah, the final boss music is interesting.
If we get there, then that'll be cool. But, I don't know. How long is this game?
6 stages. The last stage is a pain, but it's like 6 stages, and Naya's on 5.
So we might actually see the final boss.
Yes.
Okay. That actually really excites me. You know, we haven't had too many games lately where people have been able to complete them, although yesterday we did have one that was an unlicensed game that 2 of the players managed to beat, and that was a lot of fun. I was very impressed by that unlicensed Taiwanese game. That has lots of flaws, but also lots of beauty in it. I loved it.
Stage 6 could wall some people too if they don't understand how the stage works.
Well, here goes Lauratia, moving on to do some platforming here. Got the double claws. So do you like playing as the lady in this more?
Yes.
Do you like Maria more than Rio?
Yes, I prefer Maria. Rio's early attacks are better, but Maria's ultimate attack with the homing and just how much damage it does is super good. I will say this, I don't like Maria on the final boss because her attacks are such short range, and the boss you can't get fully powered up on. I don't even think there's a way in the stage itself to do it, so you are going to be coming into that fight with less. But it's hard either way.
I really, really hope that we get to hear the final boss theme. I love finding obscure jams that I've never heard before. Laurasia, though, moving into the cicada battle with all of these upgrades, this could potentially be a fast fight if Laurasia can hold on to the upgrades. Let's see how he does. Yeah, so at this point, I think it's pretty clear that Naya on the top left is in first, Laurasia second, Omega third, and Wag the dog fourth. Wag could have a comeback depending on how he does in some of these stages here. It looks like Wag is moving on to the same fight that Omega is on. This is a chance for Wag to move into second place. And considering that, you know, we've got the Egg Lady fight, and Wag knows how to run and jump, this could go much faster.
And if you notice, that cicada fight went way faster for Laurasia.
Yeah, we're on to the auto-scroller. Laurasia trying to get past Naya, yeah. Oh my gosh, this is getting good. So the big question is, like, right now... Go ahead.
Another reason I chose this game was because I really do like the disparity in how this game is, depending on whether you get hit too much or not enough. That's kind of wild in the discrepancy in being fully powered up and almost fully powered up.
Yeah, there's a huge difference here. Wag the dog, by the way, might be able to beat this boss and move from fourth to third. And Laurasia right now doing the auto-scroller and doing a really good job at avoiding taking too much damage. Considering that he is fully upgraded at this point, as long as you can hold on to these upgrades, then that could put Laurasia in first. I love that we have both of these placement battles happening at the same time here. It's exciting.
Yes, it is very exciting, actually. This is coming very close. Oh! Laurasia found something that is interesting too. If you are almost or fully powered up when you jump with Maria, you can hold the jump button and you'll float down versus falling immediately. So that's also helpful.
Wag just needs to get one more hit on this boss, and that is an official move to third place. Although he may have already done more damage to the boss than Omega Number, still solidifying the placement would be huge. And there we go. The boss is down. Wag had a huge amount of time lost in the beginning, but is catching up, moving to third place right there.
Yeah. And the thing is, these stages are not long, and there is plenty of time for people to move up and around in spawns. Okay, Laurasia has found the Stage 5 boss, so they are in first now. And the Stage 5 boss is done already.
Okay, this is unrelated to this match. It's for the upcoming one. I just asked who's going to be doing audio for that, and I got the reply, Fartsplosion. And I'm just kind of dying over here that the player, Fartsplosion, is going to be doing audio. Laurasia is now at the lead. That was great, and we are on to the final stage.
Okay, now the first part of this final stage is a little odd, and it's going to be interesting to see if the players catch what's going on in this stage.
Yeah, it's got weird circus music. I don't like it.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, so this stage is a series of screens stacked on top of each other.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, the thing is that you can fall down to the bottom and you may catch that, but if you don't understand that your progress inevitably is going up, you're going to get stuck here.
Yeah,
because
you're gonna fall down quite a bit, at least if you aren't paying attention to the visual cues here. And Lauratia managing to make that kind of tricky jump where the ceiling is lower just to make it more likely for you to fall. Can you ride the train across?
you can, but it's probably not the optimal strat because it will fall just like that.
Well, I mean, jump off the train when it falls.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna stay
Now-
on a train when it falls. I'm gonna jump. Use my legs.
Let's see if it happens to Lauratia here. I'm curious. Yep, they
Okay.
went right, and the thing is
Ooh.
that at some point you have to go up in the level instead of taking the door, otherwise it resets around and you go all the way back around again.
So it's a crappy door maze. That's what we're
Yes.
getting here.
Yes, because
Unfortunately, Lauratia is almost out of health, and this is going to be a death pretty quickly.
yeah, and Naya's here too. So we have 2 players in stage 6.
That's fine. Yeah,
Yeah.
Naya could potentially pass Lauratia depending on who can figure out this quote-unquote door, castle, whatever you want to call it, maze. Wag, by the way, is currently on the Cicada. Unfortunately, Wag is not upgraded at this point to deal much damage, but if you can damage race the Cicada, then that might not matter too much. Wag is doing a lot of damage here. Yeah, honestly, I wouldn't think that damage race is the right way to go here, but it might work out.
With the first couple of bosses, so it's usually a thought that I can do it with the first couple, maybe I can do it with this one too. And the last few bosses, you can't damage race, you're just going to take too much damage.
I don't know, it's kind of working out this time. Yeah, Wag, I think, is going to get it. You got to do the final hit. You got to get that final hit and not take damage. Well, one bit of damage, dang it! That was so close. You know, that's how the video games go.
Yep. Yeah, it's right there where you need to go up.
Chat does want to point out, by the way, that Wag is using a lot of iframes during the super attacks, and that is a very wise decision. You know, you got to abuse the mechanics that the game gives you. However, I also think that in certain cases, Wag is using it when he could instead be doing normal physical attacks. When the enemy is far away, maybe go ahead and use that attack. But if you're able to be up in the enemy's grill, whacking it, maybe just whack it. Yep, I just said that. Yep.
Oh, and see, Naya made it to the second part of the final stage.
Naya moving into first again. We have a very big battle for the lead. Lauratia moving there as well.
Because they picked it. Escorian asked why that power-up just powered down Lauratia, and I was about to talk about that. If you pick up a power-up when you're in fully powered form that is either yellow or blue, you will downgrade to the power-up you were before.
Wow.
And now we're into probably what I would consider to be the most obnoxious section in the game. You have to sit and jump, and you have to kill each of these individually. While enemies keep respawning and attacking, and it is just, you do this over and over and over again in this section.
I believe that Lauratia purposefully died there in order to possibly get a stronger attack in this area. That may be a good idea. I'm glad that there is a checkpoint for this screen.
Well, like I said, the checkpointing in this game is pretty good.
Yeah. Wag,
The thing is,
trying to find that cicada. Where'd it go?
Yeah. From this screen onward, you cannot get fully powered up. You won't get the purple you need to fully upgrade. I've tried. Because I wanted it for the final boss, and I have never gotten a purple to drop in this section.
Yeah, you need to check Discord right now, because I think Wag may have soft-locked. Okay, so luckily there is a code, a button combination that lets you just die. So there we
Yeah.
go. If anybody knows how long that lasted, then again, WAG did ask pretty recently about that, and usually, we responded pretty quickly. And so when a player asks us if they are soft locked, we usually give them information that will help them. And there we go.
Give them a minute for that soft lock, but that'll.
Yeah,
because I didn't notice it right away.
We do have plenty of people watching who have helped, with judging here. I don't know how long it took us to respond to WAG asking in Discord, but we did give information fairly quickly. So it probably isn't going to be an issue here. We'll go ahead and see what WAG is able to do. But soft locks happen. We do not ban games because of soft locks. And considering that this game has a button combination that kills you, that is a completely acceptable way to get out of that soft lock and keep going. Yeah.
Oh, Lauracia has the gun upgrade, and that is going to be... The gun upgrade, what it gains in range, you lose in power, and especially blowing up these things.
There we go! Wag the Dog is through track 4.
Nice.
So, yeah, here's the deal. We do not make it so that players cannot, we don't judge how much additional time to give when the players get soft locked, because soft locks will happen. The important part of a lot of Kusog7ande games is realizing if you are soft locked, and based off of when you notice that and ask us if there is an issue with the game, we try to respond as soon as possible. And if we don't notice that necessarily, then, sometimes we will be more willing to give bonus time. But yeah, if you're soft locked in a game and you don't know it, you gotta find that out quickly. Yeah. Everybody is having a fun time with their individual sections. Omega Number has been stuck for a long time on Moth Boss, just due to not knowing how to run. Which, in a boss battle where you have to jump up and hit a boss, you wouldn't think that running matters that much, but it does. Oh, it does.
Well, it's also the fact that they are on their base weapon. I don't think they've found something that they can destroy to get the upgrades.
Are there upgrades in this boss battle?
I believe it's the little pellets that he drops when he fires. You can destroy those.
Okay.
Each boss has something you can destroy to get some upgrades.
Gotcha. So the game isn't just absolutely cruel. Honestly, I'd say that tends to be the case. Maybe with NES games, they're not going to give you upgrades during the boss battle. But once you start getting to, like, the Super Nintendo era, a lot of game design tended to be a little bit nicer. Especially if it's an official game that was released. It wasn't released in the US, but it was an official game in Japan. It's correct to assume that an official game has some sort of mercy. You just got to figure out what that mercy is.
Yeah, now, the one issue I'm going to have with this is this section is very samey, so tracking progress is going to be a little difficult. I'll probably have to keep an eye on both these players right now to see who gets further. If nobody makes the final boss. And
I think we may see the final boss in a little bit, though. At least I hope so.
When they start attacking things going left is when they'll be in the final stretch to the boss. When they start attacking the little red bomb things.
Okay.
I don't know what to call them.
I mean, they're like wall orbs. Got to kill the orb in the wall. More like egg. It's a wall egg.
Oh, this is progress here. Naya found the area where you go down, and he's going left now, so he's right before where the boss is.
Yeah, they certainly are. Yeah, they're going left.
They are.
Right now.
Yeah, so they're in the final stretch before the final boss, which is a painful boss. I think it's doable, even blind, but it's not an easy boss fight.
I want this music to stop. I hate it. I hate this music so much. I'm gonna be honest. Like, okay. Anything that makes me think of a circus, you need to get out of your video games immediately. Okay? The only exception here is Mr. Do. Mr. Do was kind of incredible. Mr. Do's Wild Ride, love it. This, I do not like this music.
So you're not a big fan of Arrow the Acrobat, huh?
I hate Arrow the Acrobat. I loathe Arrow the Acrobat, okay? Arrow deserves to die, okay? I played it for an hour. I hated it. You know what? We're back at Dinosaur Story. There's a circus series of levels there that I was stuck on a single jump for about 45 minutes, okay? I hate it.
Okay, so Naya's on the final boss, and you have to destroy the hands first, and then destroy the head.
Okay. I think Lauracia may be getting there really soon as well, as long as Lauracia doesn't die. You have to be careful, you know, when you have 2 bits of health. Oh, and there we go, moving on to the final boss. Please be better music.
And we have the Moonlight Parade going on in the background.
Why is it Ave Maria?
I don't know.
I mean, I'm not gonna complain. It's like Ave Maria with somebody who really likes whacking that little drum. They're just bam, 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 bam.
Okay, Naya's got one of the hands down.
Oh yeah, the girl is named Maria. Maybe you're the Ave Maria. Yeah. Stop the drum! I do not need it. You did not have to you did not have to go this hard into the drum. Stop it. I almost like this song. I do have to say, like, my favorite strangely religious song that is in a game at this moment has to be, what is it called? Rise of the Triad, the God Rest Ye Deadly Gentlemen. That one was great. Yeah, this looks like it's going to be a bit of a challenge for the players. Both Naya and Lauracia doing a good attempt at this boss, but here come the drums again.
Yeah,
I hated Little Drummer Boy, and I hate Big Drummer Man.
Naya's actually done damage to the boss, so I think they got 5 hits in. The thing about fighting this boss is you really can't afford to take a lot of damage from the hands, because getting damage on the head is a little difficult with all the projectiles that are there. And Wag is on the last level.
Very nice. Oh my gosh, Omega Number, I feel so bad for you, but at the same time, this is what happens at times. Like, I'm very proud of how Wag the dog has done. The biggest thing, though, is that if you are stuck, you have to try doing something different. There's usually something that you can do differently in order to make your life easier. But Omega might be able to beat the boss this time. I would say that, yes, this took a long time, but it might end up being fine.
Yeah.
Quote-unquote fine, as in, you know, Omega Number might actually beat this boss. But nope, that is a death right there. 1 bit of health left.
Yeah, I agree with the scoring here. I think Naya has the advantage because this is one of the few areas where I think Rio is much better as this boss fight.
Yeah, well, Naya
Rio's
has
sword
also
has
done
life.
more damage. I think we saw about 5 bits of health taken away from the boss, whereas Lauracia has barely dealt any damage at all, from what I can see.
Lauracia hasn't destroyed both hands yet, so they won't.
Okay, left arm gone.
They need to destroy both hands before they can do any damage to the boss.
Okay, at least we're getting more of the music here. Even if that means... Don't you think you would get tired of drumming this much? Just like... Oh my gosh. And also, I would complain to the composer. I'd be like, can you, like, change it up a little bit? I'm very tired of just this very specific rhythm. Okay, here we go. Drummer boy! Seriously, people are like, yeah, I studied drum for 10 years, and this is the part that you gave me. Then again, that's like what people usually get if they play, what, tuba? Like, well, I'm bored. Or bass. If they're playing, like, a big bass in an orchestra, they get... Especially if they get Pachelbel's Canon, they're like, crap.
Naya won.
Naya! Taking the victory today. Naya manages to beat the final boss, save a girl, and we're at the Disney Fantasy Parade. You can see it going on in the background there. Oh, it actually does say it's a parade. Oh my gosh, I love this. This is not my favorite game in the world, but it's kind of fun. Yeah, so good job, Naya. If you would like, you can invite them to come and chat in voice, because I would love to hear some opinions about that. Naya taking the victory there. Lauracia fighting the final boss. Wag currently trying to get through to the final boss. I don't think Wag will see it, though, because this level is actually pretty dang hard.
Yeah, I don't think they have enough time to see the final boss.
Yeah, I had a drum class in college, everybody. I can play a drum. A drum. One drum. I also learned various strategies for playing the cymbals. Yeah.
I'm so glad someone managed to beat the game in the time. That is actually impressive.
Yeah, for, like, honestly, this game is fairly difficult, but honestly, I think every player here has shown a big amount of progress. Omega, despite getting walled on this boss, has really learned how to, like, deal with not knowing how to run. Still, like, it is impressive if you're missing a key mechanic in the game, still being able to make progress in a boss where that mechanic is basically required. You know, there we go, Omega number almost beating the boss here. There we go, the moth is dead, and I'm gonna go ahead and consider that a moral victory.
And it looks like Naya's in general waiting to be brought in.
Okay, let me go and bring... Yeah, I can do that. Hello there, Naya, and congratulations! You take the victory today!
Thank you. How about you today?
Oh my gosh. Oh, what's that?
Hello?
Oh, hello. Yes, I can hear you. Are you there?
Okay, I'm here.
Yes! Yeah, great job here. Like,
Thank
we
you.
have one other player on the final boss as well, and
know.
so it was a race to see who would be able to kill this boss first. And I don't think Lauracia is
okay.
gonna do it, but you
No,
got it.
just I did it, I guess.
Yeah.
I think I lucked out at that hit getting iframe locked. I don't remember that word. What locked? Anyway,
Yeah, you went in there with a different character. Lauracia is playing as Maria. You played as Rio, and our commentator here was saying that may have made the difference for the final boss. That is time, by the way, everybody. We are solidifying the places that everybody took here. And holy cow, that was an intense boss fight, actually. Like you may have quote-unquote lucked out, but it was through a lot of work that you got that.
thanks.
Oh no! We've got Ronaldinho Soccer 64 on the bottom screen. I think Wag the Dog actually won just by putting that specific animation. Okay,
So how did you enjoy the game, Maya?
I like the game. So I'm pretty fine with platformers.
Yeah, it seems like you did pretty well with that, yeah. Was there any main difficulty with it?
Actually, I didn't have much difficulty. So the controls get stuck in moments like jumping and immediately attacking or something. The timing got quirky at moments, but it was manageable after all.
Yeah, honestly, I was very
Other than
impressed with
that,
how
I
you
didn't know
did
that
there.
there's a running button which the left or right shoulders, and I realized it at like third or fourth level.
Yeah, we noticed, I think almost everybody missed that at first, and I was thinking when you figured it out, it was about 20 or 30 minutes in, and I was like, you have to feel like you are behind once you realize that, oh no, I haven't been running this entire time.
Actually, that I thought like that. Yeah, maybe people who figured out the running might have gotten ahead of me, but
I knew it. It plays games with you when you realize that. But yeah, you weren't behind. You were ahead, I'd say almost the entire time. You did very well despite not knowing how to run for a little while there. One of our players never figured it out.
Thank you. I see.
Yeah,
I feel bad for them.
I think everybody was kind of not running until like
same case for everyone, I guess.
Yeah. Well, here's the order for those who are wondering. Naya took first, Lauracia second, Wag the Dog third, and Omega number fourth. It was honestly really impressive to see even Omega number at the end fighting the Moth boss, not using the jump button at all. Omega didn't figure it out, but still beat that boss, and run is basically required to get through there. Because it allows you to jump higher.
What was your favorite stage? If I may?
My favorite stage? Actually, I like that fifth or sixth stage that we were destroying walls and jumping around. So
oh yeah, like right towards the end before the final boss.
Yes, that was like chasing the heck out of those walls. It felt nice.
Yeah, I thought that level, it had some interesting ideas. It was a bit of a pain that you had to like destroy so many of those walls. There were just so many. But at the same time, it's a change of pace. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, was there anything that you really disliked about the game? So this is Kusog7ande, bad video game tournament. I'd say that overall the game's interesting, but it does have some flaws.
Well, games actually there are SNES games shorts like this as well, but I think it was short compared to what I was expecting. I was expecting puzzles, so the game is easily completable. Other than that, not much platforming at all. So it's kinda simple in that regard.
Yeah, I'm glad. Do you think that this is a game that you might consider playing again, or are you pretty much done with it for now?
Let me see. The game is fun to play. I'm keen of platformers, so might get back to play like when I'm bored. So we had this game, why not play it? I have moments like that, so no matter if it is a bad or good game, it depends on my feeling at that moment. This one might be one of the games.
Well, that's cool. Yeah, it's always fun to see if there's a game that sort of, works for you a little bit more than other games. So if you do, that'll be awesome. I do have to ask, because it appears that you may be not here in the U.S. Do you want to introduce yourself to people, who you are, what games you play, maybe even where you're from? It's up to you.
Okay, my real name is Halit. I'm from Turkey.
Ooh, Turkey!
Yes, I'm Turkish.
I don't think I know anybody else from Turkey. I don't know anybody else who's Turkish, so it's great to have you.
Thanks. I don't know Turkish people much playing retro games or either, or in the speedrun community. So this is the first for me as well.
Well, I would say that like if there are other people who are from Turkey, occasionally we have some people who show up who are lurking a little bit more. I think it's always fun to meet new people who are a little bit closer to me. So
I agree.
I would say networking and meeting new retro gamers in your area. Say hi to Naya sometime on Twitter or on Twitch. Go and follow Nayalito. Yeah.
I'm using this nickname Nialito for. Okay. It's okay. I don't really care about how it's spelled, but I really love cats. So this nickname is result of combining the Nia sound and the Hanits and something like this.
I love it. Well, thank you so much, and it was very impressive to watch you. You did so good at this game.
I thank you for the whole Kusog7ande thing, for welcoming us, and
yeah, thank you so much for coming and chatting with us as well. I know, you just got done probably with a stressful game, and then we're just like, let's chat, let's talk to you, blah, 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 blah. But you have been an absolute joy to have here. And Time Stalker, thank you for giving the game out as well. I'm just over the moon with how this went. This was fantastic. I'll go ahead and let both of you go, so have a good rest of your day, relax a little bit, play some other platformers that make you happy, and hopefully you can have a nice end of your Sunday.
Thank you, Percent.
Thanks.
Have a good one.
You too.
Thanks.
Take
Bye.
care.
Take care. Well, everybody, we are just about to move on to our third out of 4 games. I'm going to go ahead and run a quick ad. I got to stand up for a second and move my legs, and we will be back with the game reveal in about 1 minute. Yes, I know that Author Blue's rated because he's going to be playing in the upcoming match, and so it's always good to have some of his friends here. See you in about 1 minute for the third game.